Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to make a mosaic bucket hat. This is not a beginner project, so if you don't know how to crochet or you're just learning how to crochet, I would advise you to learn a little bit more before you come and do this mosaic, because mosaic is work for more advanced, intermediate, and expert. So go and learn about stitches. The stitches I would encourage you to learn are the single crochet, back loop single crochet, and double crochet. So let's begin. I'm going to use this uh, 4 yarns, right? I don't know how I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to use this 4 yarns, and this will be my primary color, and these will be my secondary colors. I'm also going to have used a 3.5 millimeter hook, a pair of scissors, tape to measure, and a darning needle. When crocheting mosaic, you normally work in one direction, from either from right to left, all the rows, and you change the yarn every second row. However, because we're going to be working in a round, we're not going to be cutting the yarn, but we're still going to be working from the right to the left. Right. Let's begin. So this is a bucket hat we're trying to work. So the mosaic part will only be on the body side. The crown will be just double crochet working around, and the brim will also be just double crochet working around. So the mosaic is only this part. So let's start with the crown. To work the crown of a bucket hat for an adult, you start with your magic ring. You put your two fingers together, wrap your yarn around until it crosses. Then insert your hook through the back and pull your yarn. That's it. That's your magic ring. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then in the ring, which is this, don't pull it yet, leave it loose like this. Work 11 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in total, you have 12 stitches, including the chain 3 that you made. Pull your tail as tightly as you possibly can to close the loop, to close the center, and then join at the top of the chain 3. Okay, so you have 12 stitches. The next row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the same stitch, and then 2 double crochet in all the other stitches. So 1, 2, and then in the next stitch, 1, 2, and continue all round. You should end up with 24 stitches. And at the end of the row, you're once again going to join at the top of the chain 3. You have 24 stitches, and then chain 3 again. In the next row, we're going to work 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then one double crochet in the next stitch. The goal is to increase 12 stitches in each round. So by doing that, we'll be adding 12 more stitches. So in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets, and then in the next stitch, work 1 double crochet. Then 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet, and continue with this pattern until the end of the row. So this is your row 3, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And now see, and I'm now working in the last stitch, which will be 2 double crochets, right? And your 1 will be the chain 3 that you made at the beginning of the round. So at the end of this round, you should have 36 stitches. Join at the top of the chain 3 and then chain 3. In the next round, we need to add another 12. So how we do it is we start in the first, work 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2. So continue until the end of the row. So 2 in the same, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and I'm going to see at the end of the row, and by the end of the 4th row you should have 48 stitches. I'm now at the end of the row, and I'm going to slip stitch at the top and then chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do is we're now going to work row number 5, which when at the end of the row we're going to end up with 60 stitches. So once again, we start with a 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then double crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So we're working 2s and 3s, and I'm going to see you at the end of the row, and by the end of the row you should have 60 stitches. And at the end of the row, I'm just finishing. I work 1, 2 stitches, and then slip stitch at the top of the chain 3. You should have 60 stitches. And then row 6, we're going to chain 3 again, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then in the same stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So let's begin. In the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, right? And then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, 3, 4, and I'm going to continue until the end of the row, and you should have 72 stitches at the end of the row, and I'm going to see you when I'm done. And I'm now at the end of the row. I'm just going to finish 1, 2, 3. The fourth one will be my chain, and at the end of this row you should have 72 stitches. Slip stitch at the top, and then chain 3. So this is the last one. 1, 2, 3, and this is the 7th row. So we're going to start with in the next stitch you work 2 double crochet as usual, 1, 2, and then in the previous round we worked 4. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to work a double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Continue with the 5 twos until you have at the end of the row, and at the end of the row you should have 84 stitches. So I'm going to go camera and I'll see you at the end of the row. So I'm now at the end of the row and I should have 84 stitches. This is the crown for an adult bucket hat, and it should measure about 7 inches. And you need to keep this number of 5-2 because when we're working the brim, we're just going to continue. So this row will be 2-6. So 2 double crochets in the same stitch and then 1 in the next 6 stitches. But from here on, we're going to work with the 84 stitches to make the body of the bucket hat. Now, let's start with the mosaic part of the design. So now I'm going to explain to you the principles of overlay mosaic crochet, which is what I'm going to use for this bucket hat. First of all, the stitches are a back loop single crochet and then an extended double crochet, which you work 1 row below the previous row. That's the first thing. The second thing is each row is going to start with a new color. So my primary color is the cream, which is, as you can see, are the white rows. And then my secondary colors will be the purples, which will be my the blue rows. So each row starts with a new color. The third principle is you work in one direction. So we're going to work from right to left. And because we're working in a round, we're just going to continue and carry on yarn. We're not going to be cutting yarn. And the side where we're not going to be cutting yarn will be your wrong side. Now, how overlay mosaic works is relatively simple. So the first 2 rows are the base rows, and we're going to work them in back loop single crochet for this bucket hat. If you're working something else, it will be a little bit different, but for this bucket hat, we're going to work the first 2 rows in back loop single crochet. So the first row we'll work it in cream, and the second row we're going to work it in the first color that we want to use. How the chart works is where it is blank, where there are no X's, that is a back loop single crochet in that row. Where you see the X's, you work the extended double crochet. So in this case, all these X's will be extended double crochet, and when you get to the blank, you work a back loop single crochet, and that's it. And then this is a 14 stitch pattern. So to complete one section, we're going to work 14 stitches. The beginning and the end will be slightly different because we're going to have a stitch at the center there, but it is a 14 stitch pattern. So let's begin. Okay, so as indicated, the first row will be row 0, will be back loop single crochets. As you can see, there are no X's, so we're just going to work back loop single crochet in the primary color, which is the cream. So let's work that now. So at the beginning of the row, we're going to chain 1 single crochet in the same stitch, then back loop single crochet in all the stitches. This is row 8, and you're going to work back loops all around until the end of the row, and you will still have 84 stitches. So I'm going to see you at the end of the row. So I'm now at the end of the row, and I'm going to introduce my first color. So this is a sequence how I want my colors to be. I've just used different colors here. So I have these 3. So this is my first, my second, and my third color. And based on my sequence, this will be these 3 rows. And then I'm going to use this for the middle section, and then this for the very last section. So I'm going to introduce the first color in row 1, which, as you can see, there are no X's, which means it's just a single crochet row. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to be cutting the yarn. We're just going to be carrying it through. And when it's finished, let me show you. When it's finished, this is how it's going to look like. So this is the wrong side. It's going to look neat. So I wouldn't worry about it not looking neat. So I'm looking to have a nice plain joint, not mixed with colors, because we're not going to add an edging and working in a round. So the first stitch will always be in the primary color. So at the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch into the chain 1 that you made, pull through, all right? And we're always going to start around with the main color. So chain 1 and then single crochet in the same space. Don't finish your single crochet, and then pick up your the new color that you want to introduce, and then make a slip knot and go through, right? So your first stitch will always be the primary color. And once you've done this, drop the primary color, leave it there, and then let's work this round, which is a round of back loop single crochet all around. So I'm going to work this tail in so I don't have to weave in the ends. Remember to make sure that this is not tangled in. You leave it and we'll pick it up at the end. So work back loop single crochet all around with your second color, and I'll see you at the end of the row to show you how we pick up this yarn to make sure that the very first stitch is always the primary color. So I'm now at the end of the row and I'm just going to work the very last stitch. So the very last stitch is where we change the color. So I start my single crochet, drop the color and pick up my primary color and pull through, right? And then you're going to slip stitch to the top of the single crochet you made. This is where the pattern begins. Now, when we're working the secondary color row, we're going to start with a chain 1 and then double crochet in the same stitch. So now we're going to work row 2. Remember, where we see the X's, that's the extended double crochet, and where there's a blank, that's the back loop single crochet. So we're going to work this. The first X is the turning chain, the joining chain, so that counts as a stitch. So we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double extended double crochet and then a back loop single crochet. And let me show you. So we've joined and worked our double crochet and then we have to have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Once we get here, so now we're going to start working the extended back loop double crochet and we work it in the row below. So we don't work it in the previous row, but the loops from the row below, the front loops from the row below. So this stitch counts as a stitch and we're just going to continue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if we go back to the chart, the next stitch is blank, which means it's a back loop single crochet, and we work it in the previous row in back loop like that, right? You can be checking and making sure that you're not skipping any stitches, and then go back to the chart. We're going to work the extended double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then a single crochet. So let's work that. So extended double crochet, work it in the loop below. I normally just fold, to make it easy for me to work. So just work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? If you want to be sure, you can just go back and count the stitches behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. So you know that's your 13th stitch. And in the next stitch, according to the chart, it's blank, so it's a back loop single crochet. So this is the pattern. 13 for this row, 13 extended double crochet and 1 back loop double crochet. So you're going to continue until the end of the row. You're going to have 6 stitches at the end. So I'll see you at the end when I have 6 stitches left. I'm now at the end of the row and I have 6 stitches left. So I'm going to work the extended double crochet in the last 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and then insert your hook on top of the first double crochet you made and pull through. Remember, although we're changing colors, the first stitch, the turning stitch or the joining stitch, is always the primary color. So we're going to chain 1, and because according to our chart it's now a row with another color, we're going to work a single crochet. When we're supposed to work the secondary color or colors, we're going to start with the single crochet, and when we work with the primary color, we start with a double crochet. So chain 1, and then single crochet, start a single crochet in the same stitch, and then pick up your secondary color and finish. And then according to the chart, we're here, and it's all blank. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blanks, and then the X, which means we're going to work the extended double crochet here. So let's work this. So the first stitch is already worked, which is this one, and then we need to work 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to work 7 more before we do the extended double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then where we have the back loop single crochet, we're going to work the extended double crochet. In the same way, we're going to work now 13, and then work in 13 in back loop single crochet, and then the extended double crochet. So single, and then we're going to work the extended double crochet. So continue like that until the end of the row, and I'm going to see you at the end of the row. So I'm now at the end of the row, right? And we change color in the last stitch and pick up the primary color and pull through, and then slip stitch onto the single crochet. And now working the primary color row, we start with a chain 1 and a double crochet, and then we go back to our chart, which is now on row 4. So these X's are extended double crochet, and the blanks are back loop single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's a blank, so work a back loop single crochet. There's an X, so we work an extended double crochet, and then it's a blank, it's a single crochet, and then extended double crochet. So we're just going to follow the chart all the way. Where you have the X's is extended double crochet, and where you have the blank is a back loop single crochet. And I'll see you at the end of the row. So I'm now at the end of a row and I've joined, and now it's time to change to the next color. So this chart is available under the community tab. So if you go to the community tab, you're going to find this chart. But if you want to purchase the written pattern, go to my coffee store and you're going to find a full written pattern. So now we're going to continue the same way. So where you have the X's, remember that's the extended double crochet, and where you have the blank, that's the back loop single crochet. And this row, because it's for secondary color, we're going to start with the single crochet of the primary color, and then pick up the secondary color. Now I'm going to show you how to change colors. I'm at the end of the round of my primary color, my base color, my main color. So I join as per normal, chain 1 and start with a single crochet. So instead of picking up your previous color, you then introduce the new color by making a slip knot. This is how I do it, and then go through. And I'm just going to work the tail in and leave the main color and the other color. This one you can actually cut it and you leave it in later. So I'm just going to continue with my pattern as per normal. So let's begin, and then you just continue working with the new color. What I'm doing here is I'm going to do this section but on this side, so maybe no stitch, and then maybe 2 crochet and just continue. You can change colors as many times as you'd like, depending on how you want your bucket hat to look like. So I'm going to finish off the body of the bucket hat, and then I'm going to come back so that we can work the brim. You should have 22 rows in total from the crown before you start the brim. So go off camera and finish, and then we're going to come back and work the brim. So I'm now finished with the body of my bucket hat. I'm at the end of the last row after 22 rows from where I started the mosaic pattern here. And then I'm going to slip stitch as per usual to join. So your last row should be your main color. Then you can cut this one off, the secondary color, you will begin later. And now we're going to work the brim. When we're working the brim, we stopped here where we were working 2 double crochets in the same stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So what we're going to do here is to just continue from there, and we're no longer going to be working in mosaic. We're just going to be working double crochet as per the bucket hat, and we'll be working in a round. We're going to work. So we stop when we're finishing the crown. We stopped at 2 double crochets in one stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So we're just going to continue from there so that the brim doesn't get warped, and we're going to work 3 more rows. So we're going to work 2 double crochets in one stitch and then 6 stitches. The next round will be 2 double crochets and then 7 stitches, and the last one will be 2 double crochets and 8 stitches. So let's start. I'm going to start as per normal. So I'm going to chain 1 and then double crochet in the same stitch, and then so this counts as a stitch. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then work 2 double crochets, and we're working in both loops, not only in the back loops. So in both loops, 2 double crochet and then 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and continue all round until the end of the row. So 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to come back to work the next row. And I'm now at the end of the row, so you should have 96 stitches including the first stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch and then chain 1 and work a double crochet in the same stitch. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets and then 7 stitches. So 1, 2, and then 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then again 2 double crochets, and you're going to continue like this until the end of the row, and at the end of the row you should have 108 stitches. 6, 7, and then I'm going to work 2 double crochets. I'm gonna go off camera and then I'm gonna come back and we'll work the last row together. So I'm now at the end of this second row of the brim, and I'm going to slip stitch join, chain one, and work a double crochet in the same stitch. And in the last row we're going to work 2 double crochet in the next stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then again 2 double crochet. Continue in the same manner, and at the end of this row you should have 120 stitches and you're done. When you're done, don't forget to weave in your ends. Don't forget the written pattern is available in the description box below. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Until next time.